Ordinary People Living Extraordinary Lives. I'm your host, Katy Rey, a fierce leader in the community, empowering you to own your story and embrace everything you are. So today's episode is me, Katy Rey, your 2-time bestselling author, entrepreneur, nonprofit founder, all the things. We are going to talk about 2023 really being a year for me to just put my story out there, do what I love to do, and it's serve others. And I released 2 books, one being Uniquely Loved for Being You, which was originally written 5 years ago, and they were affirmations, 6 years ago. And they were affirmations for my kids that were super young at the time, 3 and 1. And it was just reminding them while their dad was going through recovery that, they have the power within. This is a powerless situation. I know the energy's off. Just affirmations about who they are and the love they have. You have to get the book for really any age, child, and adult. It just reminds you that life gets really hard sometimes, but you have the power, you have the magic within you to get through anything, and you're capable of anything. And I had my dear friend, Ashley Moonface, illustrate pictures so that any child could open it up and see themselves there. And I love that book. I want to go into more schools. Come find me. I would love to read to your classes. I would love to read to kids. It just really was a fun project to finish because I also have a nonprofit that focuses on foster kids, and it's called Fostering Hearts Florida. And they also deal with trauma and powerless situations all the time. So it's very much for that community as well. Really any kids just going through hard times. And then it took about 7 months to finish. Your labels don't define you. You define you. And what's so amazing about that is I just poured my whole heart and soul onto these pages, and it gives snapshots of my journey from childhood to now and reflects all the times I was labeled. I labeled myself, or society labeled me, and the environments around me that really had an impact on who I was. And I own my entire story because I want to help others reject the labels they were given and release that shame we've been carrying. I think shame is such a heavy thing for us to carry our entire lives and not just walk into our power. And I am wholeheartedly a woman who, with every encounter, I want to leave you better than I found you. And I want to pour my ridiculous amount of energy into you to remind you who you are, what you're capable of, and the magic that is you. And this book allows me to walk up to someone and say, read my story. Understand that life is not unicorns and rainbows. And it gets really dark and heavy sometimes, but we have the capability to come out stronger. And I'm not going to go through every chapter with you, but I do know that my labels of infertile female, felon, wife of a recovering addict, daughter of a gay parent, all of these impacted me in some way. And now I look at it to this beautiful story of my life that allows people to show up as themselves. And I do multiple things as in workshops that is talking about owning your authenticity so that you can excel in life and business or whatever that looks like for you. Because if you know who you are, just like I did, I am a woman who with every encounter wants to leave you better than I found you, is because I know who I am now. And through these experiences, I was able to lose my way and find myself back to who I am at my core. And I wholeheartedly hope you hear this episode. Not only do you buy the books off my website, katyrey.com or Amazon, but that you look at your own story and accept it all. Accept all of it and know that none of those labels define who you are. You have the capability of rejecting them. Release the shame that you've been carrying. And we are going to go over all these fun topics too at my annual event, Celebrate You. That is February 25th, 2024. And it is focused on you owning who you are and celebrating all of it. Anything, boundaries, say no to someone, not just milestones that society tells you have to hit. of babies, weddings, career promotions. No, maybe it's resting. Maybe we'll celebrate you resting. Whole brunch vibe, excited to see you there, motivational speakers, all the things, but I want you to show up as you. And I hope that Not a Great Whisperer podcast gives you that chance to feel seen, loved, heard, however that looks. We are a podcast that is really meant to empower you and you to hear other journeys, and that you know that we are all extraordinary and that we are capable of anything we have in our heart, and to just continue to be good to one another. And our differences and anything we should take as a learning experience, that we get to learn something new when someone thinks differently or opens our mind to new ideas. I hope that when I'm leaving a legacy for my children, that they see that my mom always accepted others for who they were at their core. There was never a judgment in her body that said, oh, they're not like me. They have this label. They have that label. I hope they know that you get to show up as you are at any point when you're with me. And that's why I will continue to spread this message and hope you will listen to Not a Great Whisperer every week, because we are so excited to have listeners and guests, and let me know if you want to be on. But thank you for joining today. Go get my books. Super hype about them, and hope to see you at Celebrate You 2024. This is Katy Rey. You can find me on katyray.com or at TheRealKRay on Instagram. Love to hear from you and would love to hear your journey.